Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Donnie.
And I'm Nick, and today we're rambling about cell phone photography. Probably, I don't know, whenever people ask, like, what's the best camera to get, I usually tell them, like, unless you're shooting something pretty specific, it's pretty hard to beat a cell phone nowadays.
Right. And the quality of like, there really isn't any poor cell phones now, right?
Yeah, in like the last 4 years.
Yeah, so anybody who's got a phone in the last 4 years should have a pretty good camera on them, as long as they have their phone on them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Now the abilities of the camera are definitely limited.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of good little gimmicky things in it.
Yeah, like the portrait mode now.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty cool. It's I don't know, not very. It's convincing, but like it's going from optical, like true portrait lens, to digital portraiture is like, you can definitely tell. But
right, you can tell, but for the general purpose of people who are going to want, the people who are asking us can take photos, they're not really wanting to print them. Everybody's using their photos for social media anyway.
Exactly.
And if that's all you're using it for, I would never recommend anybody ever get anything else other than their cell phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you got a good, even if you tell them, like, I want you to go and buy the best phone with a camera, the abilities the phone's going to have for other things is going to be ample for the rest of your needs as well. So you're going to have like a top of the range phone.
And while I'm willing to bet too, like, you have someone buy a Hasselblad, whatever, craziest camera setup in the world, spend 70 grand on a setup, and just put like an iPhone or our phone next to it, take a picture of like some generic thing like that, post it on Facebook. It'd be pretty hard.
Yeah.
You would never you'd have to be, I don't know, you'd have to be a pretty good pro to recognize the difference.
And for what it's been used for, like, if you're literally only using it for your own personal social media, even if you're using, like, you could probably make a successful business out of being a cell phone photographer.
Absolutely. But some guy did an entire wedding with one. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Again, yeah. So you want to learn how to use it, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
I bet they can't even hear that, right? We're just getting really annoyed. Really loud motorbike there. What's getting worse? Run away. So it'll get quieter. So the abilities they've got, they always boast outrageous megapixels.
Yeah, which does nothing for it. It's like super sampling or upscaling. Yeah. Really, that's all it is.
And it's on a sensor the size of a pinhead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, this camera here, I've got the Note. What we got? Note 20 Ultras.
Yeah.
So it's got 3 cameras.
Yeah,
in the
I think
back.
the 3 cameras.
3 and then 1 in the front, just. I think it's only 4 in total then, right?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I just thought about it too. Like the whole camera module with all 3 cameras, that whole bump in the back's the size of a full frame sensor, probably.
Just smaller, maybe.
Probably even smaller.
It's slightly smaller because the full frame's probably a bit more square.
Yeah. You're right.
But yeah, so it boasts all these things, and it works. I love using it, right?
Well, it's like the software side now. It's like the Google Pixel, right? They have like that astrophotography mode now. You can literally take Milky Way shots with your phone.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to think about. Like 4 years, like even like a couple years ago, unless you had the most high-end phones, you weren't even getting a picture of a star.
Right. No,
like,
it's not impossible. I mean? And even a few weeks ago, you posted a picture when we were out on the moon, and you got a picture and posted it.
Yeah.
It's obviously not like, whenever people are getting blown away with pictures of moons and things now, everybody loves a picture of the moon.
Yeah.
It's not that picture, but it's way good enough to say, hey, oh, look, the moon was cool last night. Look what I see.
Yeah, no, it's came such a long ways. It's insane. Like night mode, like using dedicated night modes on cameras or on phones now.
Yeah.
Awesome. You can just sit there handheld, no tripod, no nothing, and you can definitely, like, especially city lights, like a nice cityscape.
Yeah.
You can get the point across pretty decent. Like, we're talking, you're not blowing these pictures up to whatever big prints, but you can do like an 8x10 if you wanted to.
Easy. Yeah, and that's a pretty standard sort of biggish size of a photo.
Yeah.
Most people, for sort of hobbies and things for the house, family pictures aren't going to be bigger than 8x10. Your little skyline, you're not going to really want to fill your house with a big. Now, obviously, the odd person will get this idea in their head. Oh, look at the picture right here. I'm going to get blown into a massive canvas. You'll probably not be able to go. But even with that, some of the software now may allow you.
True, like gigapixel.
It would certainly make your
help. Absolutely.
Yeah. You will the detail's still not going to be there enough to really make the picture stand out in that size. But it'll not look as terrible as what it probably should. So they're really, if photography's not your thing, but you want to be able to take good photos, the phone's the way to go.
And you have it on you.
It's
Like,
pretty much.
I forgot who made someone made a quote. I forgot who it was. I think. There's this guy on YouTube I used to follow a long time ago. Anyway, his quote was, and everything, like a lot of people quote it to this day, is like, the best camera is the camera you have on you, or have on your hand or whatever. And it's true. Like, like even right now we got storms rolling in the distance, right? Something super crazy could happen right now. We got our phones right here. You can take a pretty awesome picture.
Exactly.
Like I won't have time to go run and set something up and do that. So it's like phones, even like, I'm gonna go on a rant here.
That's fine.
But for like probably a couple years ago, right when I got like my Huawei P30, rest in peace Huawei. But like those cameras were like so ahead of their time, like insane, like amazing cameras in their phones. But I stopped bringing like my DSLRs on hikes because like you had this phone that would like get the point across pretty good, and like I was just posting a lot of Instagram stuff at the time, so it'd be like it was perfect for like any social media. It was phenomenal. It had zoom. I forgot what the zoom capability was, but it was like I think it was like 30 times or no.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I think so.
30 times. So that'd be, I think it was like equivalent to like a 300 mil.
Great.
Which is on a phone. It's insane.
And for what it is and for what you're going to use it for, my only issue has ever been with the photos is afterwards, if I've done a cell phone, and I'll do the odd ones, but again, same thing as a storm comes, or if there's a nice shelf cloud, a storm front coming through, it's easier the setup wise. If it's not something you've expected, to take out your phone. The pro modes on these here, so it's allowing you to shoot in raw.
Full manual setup too.
Pretty much every manual setting that you need.
Just no aperture, but
exactly. Well, there's two. I think there's usually a choice between 1.2 and something.
My old Samsung had that. It had like actually had a variable. I don't know if this is what happened.
I think so.
I don't know.
I'll keep going. So the storm front's coming through. You want to shoot the stuff, and you can play with it.
Yeah.
And then for social media and that there, you can do the filter type of stuff. Like it's not a proper full edit, but you can do some full edits with some of the great apps that are out there.
But like you said, raw too. You can shoot raw.
Shooting raw, transfer it, and you're
you can, and it's a great way to learn what these settings do before you buy a DSLR or like a mirrorless now. It's so weird to always say DSLR now.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't have the aperture. I thought it used to have like two, like a 1.2
my
and 4 or something.
S9 or whatever had it. It had like a variable aperture, which kind of was really gimmicky, but.
Yeah, it's gimmicky. Like, I think maybe the aperture thing's probably just the
fake. Oh no, you know what it is when you do like a portrait mode, and you take a picture of the portrait, it gives you a
the blur,
f0.95 to whatever, so it's like an augmented blur. That's definitely what it was.
So the apps, and you can have Photoshop, you can have Lightroom in your phone.
Yeah.
The one I use a lot of times, Snapseed.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is for what it is. Again, it has all the plan. It uses raw files, so everything you change is like proper editing. So what you get? Thunder?
Yeah. Did you hear the lightning?
Want to see some lightning? Sweet if you got some lightning.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, there's a little rumble in the back. What?
Our producer says we may die.
We may die? Yes. This is going to be a good show.
Yeah.
This will be the one to tune into. Yeah, so like you can do all that, and then when you look at the size of the file when you're finished, it's a big enough file for, again, if you're doing 8x10s not there, and I wouldn't be surprised if you took. Now I haven't done it, and that's back to what my fear is that sometimes I'll post one of those. Now I never say if I take a cell phone shot or if it's with my camera.
I already know where you're going with it because I've been asked the dreaded question.
Oh, I want that as a print. And then you start going, oh yeah, no problem. Then you start looking, and then you see what picture they want, and you go, oh, that's a cell phone one. And I just, even for me then, if I've shot the same scene, if I've taken a cell phone picture and then I'm working with my camera, I take a picture to try and get that edit to look anything the same as the one that they have seen now.
Yeah, it's hard. And it's you know it's the most frustrating. Like right now, if we grab our thousands of dollars to set it up here, take a picture of that, and then you take a picture with your cell phone's gonna look better right now.
Yeah, right now. Well,
every time.
Every time.
And you're like, oh, it's so bad. But then it's like once you get home and you really start dialing it in, it's like the DSLR beats or whatever.
The quality way, absolutely.
And it's like,
but the edit will look different. That's the thing. I've never once got one they look exactly the same. And again, it comes back to a lot of times. It's more like a filter.
Yeah,
you're using with your phone where you're properly editing.
Well, I wonder, like, too. Well, another reason why. Well, like when you shoot on here, I wonder if the preview's a JPEG. Like even if you're shooting in RAW.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're shooting on your big camera, the preview's a JPEG.
Right.
So. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think it was any different. But yeah, so you start working with that. Like I said, you get the images, like some wildlife images. Again, if you're in a zoo or a controlled environment, you can get decent wildlife pictures. You know, that brings the colours and things out they got there. It's great. Some of the benefits of using your phone is like the geotagging and that. Now, I can geotag my phones or my files, but I try not to use. But
it kills your battery.
Kills your battery. And if you're shooting during the day and you're doing longer exposures and things, you're already killing your battery. So trying to save some battery somewhere is a good idea.
You think phones will ever replace mirrorless? I think there'll always be a place for like full frame and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no,
But
yeah.
I think the average person, it's like the benefits of going.
Yeah, well, if you, it's, I would love to see the point and shoot market these days.
Yeah,
like,
this has to be soaking up a lot of the.
Yeah, well, we got some trucks and stuff. Must be like this is a good spot. We're gonna have some
dogs in the back.
Yeah, some demonstrations going on. Yeah, the ability to beat a point and shoot is in this.
Yeah.
Right. So to me now, the point and shoot market has to be obsolete.
You'd like. I don't know why you'd.
Why would you?
Well, the one. I'm trying to think, you can get. No, because I'm thinking of a bridge camera now too. Like you can get like the P90 or whatever. It's got like crazy zoom.
You're into bridge.
But then like the Sony RX1000, it's like a half-inch sensor or like a APS-C or whatever sensor in it, and it's the quality. Unless you really want the quality, that's the only reason.
But nobody does. Who buys a point and shoot camera?
I know. Especially like if you're buying it like a RX100 or whatever, you're already spending $1,000 or whatever. You might as well just buy a mirrorless or a good phone.
Good phone, and then to get your if you're not getting into photography, you are just better having a really good phone.
Basically, what we're trying to say is social media, phone's the way to go. And if you want to go, if you're like doing prints, you can't beat a mirrorless or like an actual camera. And then night sky or like any dark stuff, the phones kind of do fall on their face as of now.
Of course,
but it gets better every year.
Yeah, the technology's definitely getting better. It'll probably, it's never, in my head, I can't see a reason why I could catch up with your proper camera setup. Everything else would really have to be sort of like artificially done, the enhancements.
Well, it's so like, it's completely software based, pretty well, all your phone photography to begin with, versus like all the big camera stuff's all like it's you controlling it, where this has like every phone, like a Samsung or whatever, it's like known for their kind of more saturated looks than iPhone's got like a kind of a better like portrait-y kind of look. Like every phone's kind of got their own color profile. It's just like cameras.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, does iPhones now, do they do RAW? They weren't doing RAW for a long time.
No, they did RAW for a long time.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought they couldn't do RAW. Is it standard or something? Because I remember people talking about going like.
No, they just went RAW. They went the video. They went Dolby, whatever that fancy new HDR Kodak is.
Oh yeah.
That's what they went to this year, which is pretty cool.
Huh.
Oh, actually, they have their own. They have Apple RAW now. They did add their own RAW. Yeah, just to make it more complicated.
And what's that? Like
free.
But what like? Just their,
I mean, they sold
just a file format.
Yeah, it's a file format, but it's like I forgot what their reasoning was. I don't know. I'm sure they'll sell you on it.
I wouldn't. They won't sell me on it ever. The more they try to sell me, the more I'd rebel.
I was close. That. I was close this year going. I don't know. You're not into them at all.
I can't get it.
I think you just hate the business model of it.
Well, I do. I hate anything that's real. Like, obviously, all companies are really wanting, if they could make you use all their products, they would, right?
Yeah.
But just Apple are the king of that. Like,
yeah. They can literally sell you anything. Maybe not you, but like
Apple followers buy
absolutely.
They so now that they're in it, once you've bought your first Apple product, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, right? Initially, I've seen some Apple stuff in the back. Like, I remember in high school using the Apple Macintoshes. That's what they're called, right? And when they started, back in the day. That was it. And never thought anything of it. Didn't, because two computer systems we had as school systems was Nimbus. You ever heard of a Nimbus?
No.
Not sure it was a
Is
British.
that not like Harry Potter, like the Nimbus
it was
2000 or whatever?
Probably where they got it from. But that was like the computer setup, and it was really just no terrible programming and stuff. Then our high school, probably halfway through I was there, maybe second year was there, they got the Apple Macintosh suite.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got two Apple Macintosh. This is like these grey, beautiful, sleek-looking machines that weren't very good. We only really used them for word processing.
Yeah.
So typing.
The one thing I absolutely hate. I don't want this to turn into Apple versus everyone else rant, but the only thing I really don't like is how a lot of people think you cannot create on anything other than an Apple product. You know what I mean? Like you go to the university or the college, you have to have an Apple
right.
in order to be a photographer or whatever. But it's like it's really weird because up until like pretty well even this point, any huge company, no one's using. Ooh, it's a nice Viper, but
drag race in the background.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like up until like even to this point, like you can build. There's no real benefit going for an Apple. Like their desktop's $30,000 if you want a completely spec'd out desktop versus unless you're a Final Cut Pro guy, Apple's the only way.
Right.
But other than that, like I don't know. I'm not gonna go down. I could rant forever. I'm not gonna go down that road.
Yeah.
I'm better than that.
To me, yeah. But the only thing is, you make a point of it's a fallacy that the only way to go is Apple, because whenever you compare apples with apples, it really
you're better off going the other way every time. Especially everyone thinks like Apple's a premium. Like, well, it is premium. It absolutely is premium in every way. But like, you can if you wanted to, you can spec out a PC to be 30 times the cost of an Apple product. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. So if you shoot with Apple iPhones, whatever, if that's your thing,
they are fantastic. They do. It all is the same. Like it really is. Like if you can't create with what is available today, I don't want to be rude, but it's maybe not for you.
No. But so back to any of your top of the range phones now, it becomes a game as well, keeping up, because every brand, every model, as soon as you buy it, you could probably go to back, but next week go back to the store and there's something that's better. Either one of the other makers has come out with something in that time, or even your maker has announced that there's going to be. We've got the Note 20. You've already got it's the S20 ones come out. The Note 20 one's not out yet, I don't think.
No.
But that'll come out. Actually, they may not even do that because they've seemed to spec the S's.
But the Note is always for the pen.
Right, I know it is, but I mean, as far as they might not, because the spec Note as the flagship for the longest time. Now the S is the flagship.
Well, no, I don't know. Kind of, sort of. But the S will be like the flagship. I'm trying to explain it. They come out with everything. Yeah, I guess kind of. You're kind of right. But then the Note will have like a newer, better display, usually in a larger display.
Right. But it used to be the technology that was in the Note,
the Note
went to the S.
Yeah.
Now it's stuff that's in the S goes into the Note and whatever else to put into the Note. But that's regardless of that. We're just saying, you buy your top of the range phone. Well, it's the iPhone, the Google Pixel, Huawei, if they're ever allowed to make another phone.
Yeah, they're allowed. There's not allowed to sell them.
Well, whatever. It's if they don't have the American market.
Yeah, but you'll never be like technologically like held back anymore.
No.
Like, back like 15 years ago or 10 years ago even, like you were spending, I don't know, $10,000 to get basically what your phone's getting now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's there's no reason.
Yep.
Now it's pretty crazy. And there's a couple things that like a lot of people don't even know you can do with your phone, like just tapping the screen in order to focus.
Right.
Like everyone's like my parents and stuff like that. They're like, can't get in focus or whatever. It's like just tap the screen and focus on where you're tapping. So it's got like a bunch of things that are like.
There's lots of gimmicky things as well, which is good. And that's probably somewhat their downfall. Rather than focusing on being really good at one thing now, a lot of them just try and put a lot of gimmicky things in. And the gimmicky things they do these like artificial reality doodle things and all this kind of stuff. And
I always wondered who uses that.
Exactly. It's not. They only need a handful of people to do it, or whenever you take a percentage off the people who are using these things, if there's obviously enough of them. Like even whenever I was trying to get my phone, looking at the top tips for the phone, and the tips are going, I'm never going to use those tips. Like I've never used the pen for you do the motions or whatever.
Yeah,
and
the
it does stuff or
gestures and all
something. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Actually, I do like the pen for the,
the
remote
yeah,
for the camera
that's
shutter.
pretty cool.
It's a great tool.
Well, even like digiscoping, right? That's a
yeah.
whole other thing too. That's like really really cool that you can get into. And
Yeah.
then, like well, if you have a scope already, it's like really.
Did I tell
cheap.
you my scope broke?
Yeah, you told me about that. You've had a bad spring.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to do anything else in case it breaks something. Yeah. But
Cool
yeah, so the digiscope thing. So we'll explain digiscoping. So you can get, if you're really skilled, you can try and hold your phone up to the scope and get whatever you've magnified in through the scope. But you can buy cases. Different companies make cases that clip on, and you put that up against your scope eyepiece, and you're now getting an optical zoom, which is fantastic, and the pictures are phenomenal that you're getting out of that. So digiscoping is another, again, if you're already into wildlife and you're doing things, and some of the bird watchers and likes that there will have a good scope, have good binoculars, and have a phone that they don't realise that will bypass them having to buy a camera if they want to still make records. It is worth investing in the digiscope setup, whatever it is, the camera, the brand of the case and that there, and getting it and putting it on there, and like literally it's hands free then, so you haven't got the shake, it's a touch. That's again what's good about the Note. So if you've zoomed in and you've got good balance, I shouldn't cover that there.
Yeah.
That's probably blocking my
yeah, true.
I'm sitting.
Everyone who's just listening is like, why did I get so quiet?
Yeah, so using the pen there. So once you got your setup on your digiscope case, it's sitting there. Take your hands off and you hit the button on your pen. So there's no shake at all.
With the actual phone.
Yeah. But again, it's phenomenal. And then again, that's for a wildlife person or for just taking records of what you've seen. You're going to have good pictures. Really. So, and again, most pictures now, nobody's printing pictures anymore in general, right? Even we're taking. We get the odd one printed and we sell the odd one and whatever they got there, but the majority of pictures never come off a phone.
Yeah.
Never leave our hard drives.
Yeah.
So
they just like float around on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea of having anything different than your phone. Now I don't know. Is there any? There probably is some budget phones out there now that.
Oh yeah. There's some crazy.
That wouldn't even.
Like I forgot. I'm gonna butcher the name. Like my brother's got like a OnePlus T, and it's like a budget, like more the budget side. Really really good. Xumia, they make some cool ones. It's like all like a Huawei, like all out of there. And like the Huawei was so good. The battery life and everything on it was like insane. But
because I had the P10, that was their first like their big flagship phone, and then actually I got the P10, the P20 came out pretty quickly. You got the P30.
Yeah.
Did they come out with some
before
P40?
Yeah. They still have. They actually started their entire own app ecosystem and everything. It's basically got all the apps on it, but
because they weren't allowed American.
Yeah,
systems?
Google said no app store for you. Yeah, it was a cool phone, but it had a couple options that I wish everyone else had. Waterfall mode.
Oh yeah, you loved that.
That was awesome. It was like it did such a fantastic mode. Like it was crazy. It did like you just it was basically do a long shutter and merge it all together in the one photo.
Right.
It wasn't perfect by any means, but like it was really cool. Then it had like light painting mode where you can like light paint something. Right. It had some really good photo modes. And it had RAW in all the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rant on how it's better now, but I'll stop at that point. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So your recommendation here would be to get, if you're watching this in the market that Huawei's available, go Huawei.
Oh, if you want just strictly photography wise, I think the Huawei was pretty amazing.
As long as you don't mind Chinese interference, apparently.
Yeah, they might listen in on your.
They take all your information.
A lot of people will be seeing your pictures.
Just say that. Yes, everybody. Your pictures are no longer your own.
We haven't even talked about like the video side neither. Like the video side.
Oh, video's phenomenal.
Yeah, a lot of the video like that we add in during the podcast or whatever is shot on our phones throughout the day. Like, you got like I don't know what the millimeter like how wide, but like basically our phones we had like a super wide. It'd probably be like I don't know like I don't even know, a 20 mil or something like that wide. And then it goes into like a 500 or something.
What is that? That's really?
It's very sure. What is it? 100 times?
No, because about 50 times, isn't it?
Is it only 50?
The S1 one had the 100 times, then the ran the back. But I think now the
S21 brought
now
it back. Oh yeah,
brought
you're
it
right. You're right.
went up again.
Yeah.
So
Because how they come up with that is like it'd be, say it's a 10 mil, you do 10 times 100.
right.
So that'd give you your biggest zoom.
But again, the quality that way isn't good.
No.
Really,
Unless you're doing just the optical. The optical is pretty
Yeah.
decent by like pretty good.
No.
Well, especially for a phone, it's insane.
No, exactly.
It's crazy.
When we're comparing this, it is mind blowing that we're arguing over finer details of the phones.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is stuff we were arguing about like 10 years ago to 15 years ago about like $3,000 lenses. You're like, doesn't have the zoom. You have to carry around a whole backpack full of crap.
and the video quality, 8K.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's
you can't
crazy.
even do anything with it. Like you need a crazy camera or computer setup to even edit it.
Right.
Well, and then
So the camera, you're going to get video clips. You can shoot as long as video as your memory card. Expandable. That's what I like too about the Samsung ones. You can put the new memory cards in, expandable memory, which is people burn through memory quickly because of processes and apps and things they're downloading, but also the amount of pictures people are taking now, right? And again, these aren't in late day, but they have to sit and file them or go through them, delete them, and that's where people just, like I said, just rather get another memory card and put it in.
do you back your stuff up on like Google Photos or anything like that?
Well, I got a message this week that my Google Drive was full.
No, it's something else. Google Photos. It's a different app.
Oh, no.
You should look into that one. I have like 10 years worth of
Exactly.
ever since I have an
Do
Android.
I want to?
But it's pretty cool. You can go back like 10 years ago and be like, oh, here's photos of crappy camera stuff.
Well, I can just go back 10 years.
Oh, you have to grab your memory card and put it in?
What's in there?
Oh, that's a 10-year-old memory card?
Wow, no, it's like all my new, like stuff over the years I've just transferred onto it and I put a bigger card on and I take the stuff that was on the phone that I had previously and transfer it on. So it's really just got like, and then every so often I do dump them on my computer hard drive and kind of forget what they are, and then I see the phone
backup. And
then you're going, which phone's that? And you start looking. That's cataloging something I would really like to nail. I'm not very good at.
I think, as far as I know, everyone does it with Lightroom. Well, like a lot of people do with Lightroom.
But I know I can understand, but it just means like a real way to.
I change it up every year.
Sort things and have them ready, and
I am curious because like I don't know how you do it, but like I'll do it like year. Then place, and then like if it's a place I go to a lot, like Algonquin or like Point Pelee, I'll just do it by like place, and then from there it's like seasons kind of, because I'll be at like, I know I'll be at Point Pelee 30 times in spring, and then from there it's like then I'll have one just Astro, one for like just landscapes. Then I'll have like, I don't know, there's like
mine's literally,
it's just a disaster.
Mine whenever I see I mean kind of prior to doing that, like how to get rid of the separate the good from the bad. Like I literally dump everything.
Yeah.
All my raw files in. So mine will be, I'll go to my 2021 folder, and then I'll have the months of the year, and then I just like in that I'll have like June 11th, and everything I took today goes in that folder. So if I didn't shoot anything today, then it'll be June 12th, whatever the next day. So it's by the date.
Yeah.
Now some of them, if we're away, if we're going somewhere, if I'm away somewhere else, or whatever, I'll dump them into, like, I'll say it's because I knew it was a trip, Algonquin trip or First Peninsula trip. No, because it's just separate. And there's a few days in that, because that'll jog memory. But a lot of stuff I usually know by the season of the month what I was probably shooting, so I can go quickly back to sort of look through a few days folders. But it's just like,
it's tedious for sure.
I don't mind that on the export side of things, so I'll have the separate folder, same thing. I have like a June folder. I think, but it's the import. Whenever I import all the files, like it's 10% of them I'm only ever going to use. But now I've got 90% of things taking up space that are pure garbage. And I'd like the same on my phone. There's probably 90% of the files on here that I'll never look at again. I don't really need. Like, I mean, I'm taking pictures of, I'm at work and I need a phone number, and I take a picture of the phone number.
100 megapixel phone number picture.
So I've got this stupid thing, and then I've no reason for it. And there's obviously the odd day you'll go through and you start going, I'll start deleting a few photos. But you get bored after a few rows. And then you set it down again. So they're filled with so much junk. I'm
trying to think of what it would be a good way. I know some people tag them. Like, you can add, if you go properties, you can
Well,
add tags to your.
I know, like even now with it, you can search, because your picture, the old artificial intelligence there's, it's sort of tagging it, and so whenever you type in people, all the pictures with people in it come
True.
up, or
Yeah.
dog, or it's cool, but it's also weird, scary.
creepy.
It is, isn't
Yeah.
it? Right?
Yeah.
It's, that all somebody anywhere, especially when you're putting these in clouds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm not paranoid about any of that kind of stuff, but whenever you start thinking about it, you kind of
A
go,
lot of data up there.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody's going to look, say, a picture of Donnie and a picture of me is going to come up, but just through random chance, but especially somebody wanting to look for certain things or whatever, they can find random.
Is that a
What?
shelf cloud coming in there?
Is it?
No,
There's a little bit.
one.
That's a bit of a front there.
Huh.
Could. Paige, look that up in the radar.
Oh, she says, I'm going to take a quick
Pages.
picture. We'll add it to the
Yeah, so this is a cell phone picture. This is how we take them.
see all the pictures you see.
Yeah, so it's certainly getting grayer.
We'll do
Not much of a sunset tonight.
a zoom.
And we hear the airplanes going past, birds
He's
singing.
running from the storm.
Yeah, they're certainly going the direction opposite to the storm. A couple of guys with soft top there driving by. Yeah, so
panic.
there we go. There's one cell phone shot, and then the clouds in the background here in the shot's good. So this is the back scatter.
Yeah, glowing red.
Where the clouds glow red, big
Thundercaps.
fluffy clouds are like big marshmallows. But yeah, so the recommendation is, like, the apps. If I went through apps, I'll talk about a couple of different apps in the photo section.
Sure, we got some similar.
Well, Snapseed's the one I use most.
You got Lightroom.
I don't know.
Photoshop Express.
Nope.
You don't use any of those?
No, I don't.
I like Lightroom because
Yeah.
Snapseed. If I import raw files from my camera, it doesn't read them.
Oh,
So I have to use
file
Lightroom.
type. Right,
Yeah.
right.
So Photoshop Express, probably the same reason I have that one.
Right. Photo layers. You ever
Never-
use it?
no,
That's
never
good.
used
I
that
like it.
Oh, another awesome thing you can do with phones: time lapses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple, like an app. They have built-in ones, but some of the apps, like I use FrameLapse Pro. You can do like 4K time lapses. Phenomenal. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want a decent editing app to go along with your phone, and say, where you can, shoot it in RAW. If you're as if you're wanting to do some of it. If you're not shooting your regular things, you'll get really good instant
I think-
pictures.
I'm pretty sure even if I take let me see right here. If I point at the sky right now, I think it should. It'll be like, oh, there's a sky. Yeah, it tells you sky, so it knows you're like taking a picture of a sky,
Right.
and then it'll like kind of edit it for you and however it thinks you want it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Where technologies came,
Where it goes, nobody knows.
nobody knows.
So it's another minefield of.
I can definitely see the point and shoot market being
Has to be gone.
obsolete.
Like, well, I wonder what the seal.
I feel like my grandparents, they use a point and shoot still.
But are they going to buy a new one ever?
No, I bought them one 6 years ago.
Exactly.
Same
They'll
one.
just think that's a good
Yeah,
camera need until they die.
yeah.
Right?
They're never gonna die.
No. Right, they'll never get a camera they ever get again. But I mean, that's the thing now. It's just literally people who have the mindset, oh, I need to have a camera. But
Yeah.
in general, people, young kids coming up are never going to buy a point and shoot camera. There's no
No.
reason. Even once you're getting into photography.
Yeah, you'll definitely skip that whole segment. I never had a point and shoot. I don't think. No, I never had one.
No.
Maybe I was really, really, really young, but I don't think it had anything to do with me
Photography
getting
at
into
all.
photography. I was taking pictures of just random things, but
Right. Yeah. So the way to go is the cell phone. The quality of the cameras can't really be beaten for what you're going to use it for.
and not even counting everything else it does.
Right. No,
Like,
exactly. The smartphones, like I was even thinking the other day, you're watching a video on a timeline, and you can move it up and down, and there's no hesitation. Right. That TV screen is so where your television is sitting, and you just say it's a set frame. It doesn't have to do anything. But this here, you can have a picture at the bottom, and you can drag your finger up, and that screen can continue to move, and you don't get any buffering or
yeah.
that's kind of wild.
Yeah,
You know,
no, it is crazy. Like the computing process, we would have sent 1,000 spaceships to
Yeah.
the moon with probably more, probably
Yeah.
a million.
Yeah.
Realistically, it'd be like a million times the competing power
Yeah.
of the
First.
whatever the moon lander there.
That's crazy.
The
So,
Apollo.
Apollo 1.
Apollo is it? No, 13. Isn't it?
Yeah, the one with the astronauts on, but what were the other Apollos doing?
Oh
Up
no,
until that point?
they're all like moon missions too, but like the first guys to land on the moon. Yeah.
Right.
Oh boy, here
more
it comes.
thunder. This may be good. We have to wrap this up pretty quickly
Yeah.
here. Go do some shooting of
Storm chasing.
storms. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, we should do. We'll do a storm chasing one.
Mhm.
Some point if we get some good weather. If this turns into good weather, I might
Yeah.
record another one as us getting fried.
Did you bring your kite and your key?
Yeah. I'm gonna strap it on the top. So yeah. So any questions about phones? You can send them. We're not experts in every phone, but the general principles of taking photography on your phone is the same as using other than your normal settings as far as just taking standard pictures. But definitely, if you're in the market and you just want to have, we'd recommend just having a good smartphone.
Yeah.
The quality's going to be there.
Especially like if you're buying like a cheap, if you're like buying a phone anyway and you're in the market
Right.
for a
Cheap
camera,
camera.
a cheap camera like that's half decent, it's probably I'd imagine $300-400
Oh,
for like
easy.
point
Yeah,
and shoot,
yeah.
point and
You
shoot,
think
right?
So? Yeah.
So a cheaper phone is probably like $600-700.
Yeah.
You might as well just pay the extra.
Yeah,
little
and
bit
most of them you're getting them your phone contract. I know they try and hide the disguise the cost and move things around nowadays and try and tell you you're getting a free phone or not getting a free phone or you're using a premium phone so now you're paying.
Yeah.
It's like a lease on the phone. Whatever it is, like if it's in your budget and the budget you're going to buy a camera with, see if that works out for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it'll be close enough that you're going to get a better camera
Overall experience too.
getting the phone
Yeah.
than you are just getting the camera and a cheaper phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's our top tip from this bit of rambling.
Is there anything else? I mean, really, you can go on forever on
Yeah,
it.
you can talk a lot about it. Like I said, we've used them on all our trips. Obviously, not a lot of wildlife too far. Some of the stuff we got, like the fungus and stuff last year.
Yep.
You're getting really good close-up pictures. Some of the wildlife, you're getting butterflies and things like that there.
Yep.
Some dragonflies. Some of the stuff that isn't really skittish.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to use your cell phone for as well.
Should probably clarify too. It's like if you're buying a camera for primarily nature and like stuff like that, you're gonna want to get an actual camera.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And or if you're buying it to do some nighttime stuff, like a lot of low
Yeah.
light, that's like your passion. Definitely get a
Absolutely.
big
Yes.
camera. Or portraits, if you're into portraits, definitely get a real camera. But everything else, like day-to-day life and like just landscapes, like right now,
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
good stuff for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Well-
let's get some macro photography.
Ooh, what's that guy?
I don't know. Looks like it's glowing. Anyway, so I think that'll do. I think we've wrapped up. And any questions? Send us a question. I always like a bit of feedback to see what we can expand on, talk about, ramble about next time, or get involved in. So, for now, anyway, it's a goodbye from Nick.
Goodbye from Donnie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.